When I first heard about Maker, was probably my older brother, who's 2 years older than me, and we went to the same primary school, which was Morristown Primary, which is in Plymouth. And because he was 2 years older than me, he went to Maker before I did. So he came back saying about Maker, and I was obviously jealous that he went and I wasn't allowed to go. But that's always the case, having an older brother. You're always jealous of what they do. I would have first heard about it when I was about 8 and first went at about 10, so it was about 1981. I do remember sort of first arriving at the camp, and I think I was expecting something a bit grander. We were in the block, the main block, which I've subsequently found out was a barrack block, but that was probably even worse than the Nissen huts. Actually, it was really dark and cold, and I remember walking in and seeing sort of 8 beds, and they were the old sort of what you would have seen in old war films, kind of steel beds, and it was a kind of rush for who had which bed next to each other. Best memory is we had to do, this will sound weird for a 10-year-old, but we had to do a cross-country run, and I'd never really done a run before. I knew I ran, but I'd never, and it was quite a challenging run because Maker's on the top of a hill and you have to run down to the coast along through the village and then back up this massive hill to get back up to Maker. And I remember coming first in my school, and there were about 3 or 4 other schools there, and I was 3rd overall, and just being incredibly chuffed. The girls were in the Nissen huts and the boys were in the barrack block. Well, you weren't allowed to go into each other's dormitory, and you'd be in trouble if you did, which was a bit of a red flag for us, really. It was a kind of, oh, well, that's what we must do then. And I remember being in the girls' dormitory when a teacher came in and diving under the bed. So I was lying, like sort of with my back down under the bed, watching the teacher walk along and seeing the feet of the teacher sort of going, please don't catch me, please don't catch me. But I got caught. Other memories, another memory that I've got actually, I said about the run, you'd have to run down and go down by the village. There's a village, King Sands and Coal Sands, which has got a couple of beaches. And we went down there a few times, and I remember it must have been the first time going down. I was determined to go swimming. I used to love going swimming in the sea. Still do. And I'd forgotten my trunks, so I went in my pants. But after that, we went there was a little arcade thing next to the beach, and I always used to love jukeboxes and putting music on the jukebox. I remember putting, I think it was Diana Ross, and spending my money on a jukebox rather than buying something. But just a general feeling, I think, the general feeling of thoroughly enjoying myself. Maker seemed as though it was miles away. You were in a completely out of the city. I think that's part of the aim, really, was that it was to get into the country, really.